yeah, it caught me having a quick fag. Welcome to the Lee Anthony Davis show on Saturday, the 31st of October. Yes, it's Halloween, and there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of things. Yes, I do know about what happened today, which would probably solemn the mood, but I'm not going to get into that. I do know uh, I do know that a lot of people are not sort of feeling on top of the world after today's news of Sean Connery's demise, who sadly passed away today. But my memory of him, obviously, as of James Bond, and he's not just James Bond to me. He did a lot of other good stuff, films like Hell Drivers, with most of them that passed away a long time ago. And of course, you know he was a Dossman, don't you? Before he was discovered as a film star, so he'd done a lot of stuff before he got to James Bond. But you probably all know that anyway. So anyway, a sad day it is for a lot of people who loved Sean Connery. I liked him as well, but I'm gonna sort of bring the mood up a bit and say it's Halloween. And today on my Halloween special show, I know what you're saying. Why am I dressed for the occasion? Well, I am. I don't need a mask, do I? This is enough. Right, let's get on with it, shall we? Right, starting off with my members, I've had a new flux of members, and I'll read them out now. I'd like to thank Rick Flex and Leah Dow for joining my official Doctor Who group. I'd like to thank Nick Caselli and Monsieur Malik for joining my horror group. I'd like to thank Jim Hart for joining my science fiction group. And I'd like to thank Nancy O'Shields and Carl View for joining my new Blake 7 group that I started last week. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention another name. Enrico Di Natale, I think that's how it's pronounced, Di Natale. Enrico Di Natale, who's joined my official Doctor Who group. So the current standing, I'll give in a moment on the updates, on the group updates. But just to give out a few birthday shout outs, announcements, Ivan Gill is celebrating his birthday today, along with Rick Moran and, of course, Vicky Stewart. Now, Vicky Stewart is a member on quite a few of my groups, so I would give her the biggest shout of all. I've already done something for her. It's on Facebook on my story, so take a look at that. And I'd like to wish them all a happy and terrifying day. No, not really. It's their special day, but what a day to have it on Halloween. So anyway, good luck to all three of you. Have a nice day. It's your day. Have a fantastic one. Right, now for the group updates. The movers today on my groups are the official Doctor Who group is now up free. So I've got 361 members. The horror group is now reached amazing 440 members. So fantastic for that. My science fiction group has gone up one, and that's now moved up to 367. And my Blake 7 group, I only started last week, is now up to the round figures of 60. Yes, 60 members have joined my group. So thank you to one and all. I do appreciate it. My Twitter followers are now moving up to has now moved up to 43 followers. So I've got 43 followers on Twitter. Amazing. I did have someone have a go at me a couple of days ago, but I've had to block him because the language he used was unacceptable for anybody's eyesight. So I don't think I had to look at him anyway. He wasn't following anybody, and he wasn't followed by anyone either. So he was. It's what you say: follow, nil, following, nil. I just think he picked up on something and he wanted a platform to, so he had to go at me. So I showed him my usual courtesy and hello and welcome, and I said thank you very much for giving me a platform. I appreciate it very much. Deadly silence never got back to me, so I blocked him anyway. So I don't think it matters really, does it? Yeah, I mean you don't need that, but like I said, it's my first one, so I've got the badge of honour. Everybody else has been attacked, so why not me? I won't tell you what he called me, but it might be closer to the mark. So anyway, that's my group updates. Right, in a moment I'll be doing the old usual quiz question moments, but today I'm going to do how many shall I do? 4 questions today. As it's Halloween, I'll do 4 questions, and it'll be on Hammer horror, so it's the right theme for the right moment, as they say. But before I give out the quiz question, I'm going to let you know that there's a live stream on YouTube from someone I know, Mr. Hyde. He's doing something called The Lost Boys. That's the script doctors, where he has panels. I think he's got 10 at the moment, and they've all got their own characters, and they'll read out from the scripts they've got or whatever from the internet. They loaded it up or whatever, and they'll play those characters from The Lost Boys. So I'm not really up to date with The Lost Boys. I know Kiefer Sullivan, that's Donald's son, is in that, and a few other famous actors who've grown up to be famous now. They weren't famous then. I think that was in 1987, so it's quite a long time ago. So that's what he's doing. He did one on Charlie Brown a couple of days before, and there was about 4 of them. So it was quite interesting. So anyway, oh yeah, I do know who the panelists are. I'll be honest with you, I do. One of them's Blue Bonnet Uvian. Another one is Sadako 699. I think that's what. No, it's not. It doesn't matter. Sadako's his handle name anyway. And let's see who else is there. Oh yeah, Retro Doc. The usual suspects in his show. They're always on the panels, aren't they? So anyway, so take a look and give it your support. Go and see Neil Hydeman's YouTube channel, Mr. Hyde's YouTube channel, on his YouTube channel. And I think if you know who he is, you know where to find it anyway. So he's doing it currently right now live. Mega Geeks is also coming up in about half an hour's time. I think he'll be doing something to do with Hammer or horror or something to do with Halloween, somewhere along the lines. And he'll be out, I think, at about 4 o'clock. So take a look at his channel as well. So anyway, that's enough of shout outs. So now, the moment you've been waiting for. It's the quiz question, and today's theme is Hammer, or should I say Hammer horror. It's Halloween, so why not use horror? So anyway, here we go. I'll start off with the first question. What was the last ever film Hammer made? What was the last film Hammer made? Question 2. What film had a familiar theme to the Blob? In other words, was familiar, sort of not the same, not a remake, but sort of familiar theme. Which had a different title, obviously, but it was very, very, very familiar. You know, so much of the actual story and plot. It's the same old thing. This thing comes in, takes them over, and turns them into that sort of thing. Yeah. So anyway, the question is again, what film had a familiar theme to the Blob, which had a different title, and it starred Michael Moriarty, and it was made in 1982. Right, question 3. Who starred in The Thing? Not very hard, is it? But yeah, I'm sure you get that one. Who starred in The Thing? And finally, final question. Horror theme, this one. What was the, let's see how I can put it. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based on some true event that happened a long time before, back in the 50s or whatever. Is it true or false? The Texas Chain Massacre was based on a true story that happened a few decades before. Can you tell me whether it's true or false? And I'll tell you why it's either one or the other when I return later with my second show at 5 o'clock it is. So anyway, that's it for the moment. I'll be returning at 5 o'clock for the second part of my show, and I'll be giving you some announcements, what's coming up for Halloween, what I'm doing for Halloween, and I'll reveal the 4 questions I'll give you the answers to them, obviously. So all it remains for me to do is to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at 5. Bye for now.